So, I want to start this off with a bit of a disclaimer. I have never gotten to play Shadowrun. I'm making this review only based off the 6th World Core rulebook. Specifically, what the cover says is the City Edition, Seattle? Oh god. Alright, now let's get this started. First, let's address how everyone on our D&D memes, specifically this meme right here. What the hell complicated things are you talking about? This has a game franchise system much larger than Dungeons & Dragons ever had. From tabletop games to video games to TV shows, and at least 2 card games and board games. Now, let's take a look at the character creation of Shadowrun 6th World. It's not that hard, really. You decide your role, your history, your character priorities or ability scores, and you select qualities and you spend your customization karma points and your money on equipment. Y'all probably thinking about, oh, but this is the 6th world, not the 5th world. Okay, let's take a look at that. A few extra skills, yeah. And the D6 system only counts as 6 as a hit instead of 5 or a 6. In all honesty, there's quite a lot more in this book, being over 500 pages, but then again, so are the Pathfinder core rulebooks, so, whatever. There's only one part of this book, the 6th World book, that really makes me uncomfortable, and, it's right at the beginning. This part. I don't know why orcs call humans breeders, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask. With 6th edition or 6th World, you don't really have classes, but instead build options. You can build for specific roles in mind, but none of them actually change anything exactly, other than giving suggestions. So you can build, say, a computers expert, or there's a whole chapter about archetypes, basically giving build suggestions. They don't really change anything, though, You don't follow a specific path with them, it's just a build option. Now, you've also got metatypes, which are basically your races. When magic came back to Earth in this setting, some humans became other races, including, let's see the short list here. Dwarf, elf, human, standard. Your orc and troll, but different regions have different subtypes as well. For example, the orcs have the Oni and Asian, but this stuff does change a few things, mostly giving you extra abilities and access to certain things as well. Now, most important part of any tabletop RPG is, the gameplay. Most people are used to the D20 system from Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder, but this does not work that way, or really any similar way. The level of skills you have marks how many D6s you roll, so if you have 3 in a skill like electronics, you roll 3d6. What are you looking to do? Add up your numbers? No! You want to roll 5 or 6 on as many dice as possible. These are called hits. If you get enough hits, you do the action you were trying to do. Get enough hits, you can hit or glitch. If you roll a 1 on half of your dice or more, you'll get a glitch, which is not always a fail. It's a critical glitch if you do not get enough hits to pass the check. You can customize your character in an unreasonable amount of ways, from magic to tech to physical. Even your weapons are customizable. You can choose firing modes on many of them. Choose effects of others and choose how to use items too. These amount of options might be intimidating to some players, but honestly, I like this. If you want to advance your character, you spend karma points to advance it. Get more skills, spells, or qualities, both positive and negative ones. I don't know really the difference between those, but hey. There's honestly way too many ways to customize your character. It's sort of ridiculous, honestly, which is one thing I can point out might overwhelm even experienced players. That's a negative I have. Another is the timeline. Like, it's long. Somehow we're in the 6th world, but previous editions at the current world is the number of times magic has returned, which means it's left and returned 5 and 6 times? It doesn't make sense, really. And this setting is rather cyberpunk, with several augments. And in the book itself, I can't find the year. 5th World, I think, takes place in 2050, but 6th World I had to look up, and it takes place in 2080. But I can't find it in the book itself, which is another problem of this system that I'll get into in a minute. From firearms to vehicles to supercomputers to drones and even more, there's a lot. And my major concern is there's almost too much. I'm not even reading from the expansion books. I'd like to point out that this book has a whole chapter after the index talking about Seattle, the primary city of this system. And then there's even... Let's go into the book length itself. It's only 330 odd pages, which, given the DMG and the PHB, that's not much, because those books are the same amount. And Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition core rulebooks are over 550 books. But at least those are consolidated together. For example, if you're trying to create a character, you will go through 3 or 4 different chapters, with very small sections of each one being used. It is stupid hard to navigate these books, and talking to people who have played 5th edition say that exact same thing about previous editions of this game too. It seems to be a constant thing where the book is just so terribly formatted, you don't know where to look. I have to go through the table of contents every single time, and that still doesn't necessarily give me a clear answer on what I'm looking for. Hell, the table of contents takes up like 4 or 5 pages. It's just insane, really, how little this book is, and yet how long it takes. It is badly formatted and horrible to navigate. Hell, I don't think you even just need this book to play it, because there is a very small section on enemy encounters. It's not like Fate or Avatar Legends or even Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers, where there's a huge section of people you can fight and suggestions to how to give enemies stat blocks. This doesn't do that. So there's gotta be more books I'm missing that I need. I don't know how to fix that issue either, cause do the enemies follow the same rules as players? Cause most of the time they're not going to, given how many are robotic in their very nature. Hell, there are also automatons and magical creatures as well. This book is ridiculous to navigate, like, it's not even excusable. But let's get into the actual scoring system. Keep in mind that this review is only based off me reading the core book. I have never played the game, and I don't know when I'll be able to. So what I'm giving it is a 75%. I'm only able to judge based off of what the book reads like, and what I know of previous editions. And this book is ridiculously hard to get through. Like, it is so many short, unnecessary stories just filling out pages for no reason. It's a cool system. I like it. I want to play it. I want to try it out so bad. But until I can play it, this is what I can give it. So, shove off.